Starting a Shopify store has never been easier in 2025, but most of you guys don't actually know what the difference is between a good store and a bad store. Over my 7 years of e-commerce experience, I've seen a lot of different kinds of stores, and I've gotten to build a lot of my own as well. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Steven. I've done over $4 million with dropshipping and over $9 million with branding. Today, we're gonna go over 3 stores selling the exact same product. One is losing $1,000 a month, one is making $50,000 a month, and one is blowing it out of the park and making millions of dollars a month. I'm gonna break down the exact differences between them, and in the process, I'm gonna show you how you can improve your own store.
Starting off, we have the beginner store, and this store is probably losing a bunch of money, at least $1,000 a month if they're testing consistently. I wanna point out a few major flaws I see right away. So first, we can see that their site is quite cluttered. They have a ton of products. If you go into their catalog, you're gonna see just a bunch of things that aren't related to their core product at all. They have, a random pet ID tag, they have beds, they have raincoats, and it goes on for over 20 pages. So you have to think, as a customer, if you go onto this website, if you just happen to click off of the page, you're gonna get really overwhelmed with all the different products on there. Ultimately, it just creates inconsistencies with the brand as a whole. Now, on the product listing itself, there are a few things that I can see right away that are major flaws with the store. First, you can see their product pictures are very low effort. All they did with these photos is they kind of just masked over what they're selling, and they just changed the colors instead of taking a new unique photo for each. And not only that, these are photos that you could easily find off of AliExpress. And when you're selling the same product as everyone else, plus potentially all of your competitors, you're not gonna get very far. So we can see they implemented an urgency timer, but a lot of cases, this is actually not great for your conversion rate because it ends up looking cheap on your website, and people automatically will distrust websites with urgency timers like this. This might have worked back in 2019 when consumers weren't as aware of dropshippers, but in 2025, trying to do this is probably not a good idea. Something else this brand could be doing better is showing a clear, distinct sizing chart. You can see that they have a bunch of different sizes, but it's not until you scroll all the way down to the website that you can see the actual sizes of the product. So a lot of customers, they're gonna get confused and they might not know to scroll all the way down to see the proper sizing chart. Next, although they have a review widget, they actually have absolutely 0 reviews on it. When customers end up going to the reviews and they see no reviews, they're not gonna have any trust towards their brand. Overall though, the website is simple, it's clean, it's not overly cluttered except for the products. So I'll give them a point for that. Now moving on to their ad library, this is where they really don't shine well. And the reason is because their video creatives are just absolutely terrible and not on brand. They're not really targeting their ideal customer persona with any content that will actually resonate. I'm gonna quickly play one of their creatives and break down what is actually going wrong on their ad.
I promised I'd spoil my dog, so I got this. The comfy pet bed is ridiculously soft, common, and instantly became his favorite spot. Treat your pup today. Shop now. I promised I'd spoil my dog.
Okay, so there are a bunch of things that we can see wrong. I'm sure you guys can also tell as well just by looking at the video. But first off, they have a horizontal video, but then they cropped it into a vertical video and expanded the top and bottom. This makes the viewing experience really unpleasant for anyone who's on a smaller screen. Moreover, it just makes the video look a lot cheaper, which isn't great for getting people to convert and actually buy your product. Not only that, I noticed in one of the frames in this video, you can literally see that it looks like they screen recorded it, and there's a white bar at the bottom here. So why don't you just put in a little bit more effort to make sure that you didn't have a white bar in your video. Next, the video has a clear AI voiceover. Now, AI voiceovers aren't bad inherently. However, I don't know what voice they decided to use, but if you're gonna use a voice, make it at least sound somewhat realistic. Not only that, their ads aren't targeting any specific persona, they're not targeting any sort of offer or really showing why this bed is unique. They're kind of just saying, oh, it's really comfy, look at this bed, buy it off the website now. There's no special discount, there's no offer. If you pair that with how terrible these ads are as well, the odds of them actually making any sort of money are slim to none. An example of a customer that I could be trying to target is maybe someone who owns an anxious dog. And so you could really write out a script to explain to people why this product would be good for solving dog anxiety. And that is a much more powerful angle than just saying, hey, look at this comfy dog bed, get it now. Now, even in my dropshipping journey, I probably started off on similar tracks as these guys. So props to them for even launching their store and getting off the ground. Now, all they have to do is just keep reiterating and improving on their ads. And honestly, even if their website isn't the best, it should be good enough to make conversions. A really important thing to keep in mind is that a lot of sales are made before people even go onto your website. A lot of the convincing is done on the ad creative level, which is why I'm such an advocate for really putting an effort on your ads and really thinking through who the ideal customer is. Lastly, these guys are probably dropshipping using a super slow shipping line like ePacket, and that's going to take anywhere between 20 to 35 days for the product to arrive. Later on in this video, I'm going to show you guys some special shipping lines that you can use to decrease your shipping speed to only 9 to 14 days from China. So stay tuned for that. Next up, we have the brand that's doing over $50,000 a month. And we can see right away that just on their product page itself, they're already addressing the anxiety angle that I just thought of previously. And they also address a few other angles such as joint pain, arthritis, and improving sleep and behavior. These are 3 really important pain points, and they've basically targeted all of them. Right under the add to cart, we can see right away that they have a sizing guide with a really intuitive graph that will dramatically help improve your conversion rates because people actually know what size bed to buy. If we scroll down a little bit more on this website, we can see right away that they're showing the dream outcome of the desired customer. So you can see here, it says from stressed to relaxed, the pet anxiety buster. Every dog owner who has an anxious dog knows how painful it is. And so showing this really cute graphic of a dog just sitting there, hanging out, having a great time in a really relaxed state. This is exactly what most dog owners want their dogs to feel. Next, their second dream outcome is ease joint pain and prevent arthritis. A lot of dogs are getting older and they're in a lot of pain. So as a dog owner, someone who loves their dog a lot, you really want to relieve this particularly. And lastly, they're claiming that pets can be misbehaved if they're tired, just like kids and people in general. So giving them a nice cozy bed can actually help their dogs relax and have less behavioral problems. Scrolling down a little bit more, we can see that they're showing actual user-generated content of their product, and they're basically showing that this is actually a real product that people can buy. Scrolling down a little bit more, they're really focusing on their offer by adding a free $20 book to raise the perceived value of their product. And lastly, you can see that their website has a ton of reviews of happy customers, and overall, it gives a lot more trust to the customer to actually purchase off their website. Moving on to Alvi's ad library, you can see that they have significantly more ads than the previous store. And not only that, I can see that they're really focusing on an angle for 45% off. You can see they're already running Black Friday ads, even though it's literally only September. And funny enough, Black Friday ads do work a month prior to the actual event a lot of times. So if this is something you want to try for your own store, definitely give it a shot. Let me just quickly play one of their ads for you guys.
70% of dogs show signs of stress or separation anxiety, often unnoticed. That's because dogs are den animals by nature, but most modern homes are the opposite. Bright, noisy, and wide open. Without a space that feels secure, dogs remain in a state of hypervigilance, which can lead to chronic stress, disrupted sleep cycles, and behavioral issues. That's why we created the Cozy Cocoon Bed.
Their ads is a lot more on point in terms of targeting our desired customer. And not only that, they're really digging into the root pain points that this customer might have. Dog anxiety. It says, you grab your keys, your dog runs to the door, but your dog's not excited, they're anxious. Within the first 3 seconds, they're able to hook the viewer into a problem that is actually important to this customer. Then they spend the rest of the video giving more data and facts and just overall explaining why their product is the perfect solution for this customer. So they've done all that convincing. And then when the customer lands on the website, it's just basically icing on the cake to get the customer to purchase. But typically, you want to have had the customer already convinced before they even land on your website. So I think the main angle I can see on their ad library is dog relaxation, and they're combining it with the offer of 45% off. Now, the product doesn't actually have to be 45% off. What they're doing is they're setting the compare app price to $119, which conveniently makes the product 45% off when they price it at $64.95. But there's absolutely no way that the product actually is $119. They kind of just made that up to anchor a lower price for customers to look at. Another thing that we can see that's really interesting is although the beginner store, they're selling the product for $24.99, all of these, they're able to sell for almost 3 times more because of their premium positioning and the premium branding. Overall, the store definitely deserves to be making over $50,000 a month because they put in the work to actually convince customers that they're a legitimate business. Finally, these guys are using a specialized shipping line such as 4PX or UniExpress, and because of that, they're able to ship directly from China and still have it arrive to customers within a week. If you want to use my private supplier, just hit the link below. For all these, we can also see that their store is a lot more focused. Everything is kind of tied around dog anxiety and helping your dog feel more comfortable. So they have, a calming car seat, they have chew toy to also relieve anxiety. All these things, they're kind of gearing around core customer persona, which is a dog owner who might have an anxious pet. By having a more focused product line, they're able to upsell other products that might also be potentially useful for this very specific customer in mind. Overall, Always is a really good example of what a good dropshipping store should look like. But what separates a store like this from a store that's doing over $1 million a month? Well, let's move on to the next brand, which is barneybed.com. These guys have been all over the news and they do easily over $1 million a month. And the reason for that is because they are a true established brand. We can see that they have a completely custom website, which honestly is not that important when you first start out. However, this becomes increasingly more important as you scale up and you're doing a couple $100,000 a month or even a couple $1 million a month. This is because any small increment in improvement that you can make to your conversion rate at a higher scale is going to lead to thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of additional revenue. Now, we can see that these guys are doing something a little bit different on their landing page. Instead of selling some pain points, they're actually positioning themselves as the luxury option in the market. This is basically like saying we are the Rolex of dog beds, and if you want the best for your dog, come shop with us. Some really important factors for being able to position yourself in such a premium way is working with influencers and celebrities that have a lot of authority themselves already and doing collabs that way. Beyond that, we can see that Barney Bed, they have a completely custom product that is unique to them, and this really helps them differentiate from everyone else in the market. On top of that, because they are a premium product, they're actually offering a 12-month warranty included with their product, which helps customers ease into the steeper price point. We can see from their first product, which was the original Barney bed, they actually improved upon it and created a second bed called the Barney Curl bed. And it's a patented round orthopedic memory foam dog bed. And what is unique is the fact that they're using a new material that is traditionally used for humans for dogs. And this would make sense, right? Because if you care about your dog as much as you care about yourself and your family members, you're gonna wanna get them materials and things that match the level of comfort that humans can receive. We can see that this product is actually sold out at the moment, which is actually insane because it's $280, which is very, very expensive for a dog bed. But again, because of the fact that they have all these influencers working with them, they have all of these celebrities endorsing them, they have become the go-to brand that people trust for having the best for their dog. Now, if we go into their ad library, there are a few distinct things. First of all, they're going through a bunch more angles, and one angle that you might not notice with their product, I'm gonna play the ad first and then I'll explain what it is, but I want you guys to watch this video and guess what that angle is. I don't know if you guys could catch what that angle is, but it's a hidden angle. The angle is subtle luxury, and they're selling their product as not just a dog bed that goes in your home. They're selling this as a luxury furniture piece for your dog, but also for your home. It elevates the look of your home and ensures that the aesthetic of your dog bed keeps up with the rest of your home. So the reason why this product is working is because they're not just addressing the pain of the dog anymore. They're basically conveying a vibe that their product is able to elevate your status as a dog owner and a homeowner. And we see this across many brands such as Apple, many of the luxury designer brands, etc., etc. They're all selling status more than the actual product itself. Because with features of a product, you can only justify so much in terms of pricing. But with status, there's no justification for that price. If I can afford it, I have status. If I can't, well, I can't buy this product. And so they're playing into a completely different angle compared to the other two brands we saw earlier.
Dogs will literally come into my shop and choose their own bed themselves. My name is Julia and I own a dog bed brand called.
We can also see that this brand is running a lot of founder creatives. The reason for this is because as a founder, if you can resonate with your core demographic, then it builds even more trust with that customer. So we can see that this girl here, she is definitely more posh and more elevated in terms of her looks. And when people see her, especially people in this demographic, which is mostly upper class dog owners, they're really going to be able to resonate with her and trust that she's going to be able to understand them and deliver a product that is actually worth it. We can also see a ton of their ads are run from influencers in a similar demographic. And this really plays on who they're trying to appeal to, which is that, 35-year-old plus female dog owner. We can see that Barney Bed loves to run a lot of whitelisting ads with other brands like Potty Plant. They also run ads with publications and other influencers as well. Running whitelisting ads are really great for a lot of brands that are on the bigger scale because it allows them to tap into warm audiences that they might not be able to with traditional Facebook ads. Overall, Barney Bed isn't just selling a solution for a pain point. They're selling status, they're selling a piece of furniture, and this infinitely expands their market. And this really helps them cut through all the other competitors who are trying to target the same angle of only pain or only comfort. So there we go, guys. 3 different stores with 3 dramatically different results. If you want more guidance and you want me to maybe even go through your store one-on-one, please click the link below and apply for my mentorship program. The program is selective, but I do allow 1 or 2 new students in every single month. So definitely worth a shot to apply and see if you get in. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and leave a comment down below on what you enjoy the most. I'll see you guys on the next one.